roll-up jam.
That is my roll-up jam. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. You know, when people in the hood hear this, when they hear Narcissistic Cannibal, they know Big Papa Pump.
They know that I'm coming. They know I'm coming.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think that you should lobby for this to be played before the home games. You know, the games when the defense is getting introduced, I think that this needs to be the coming out song.
You know, maybe this will just be my personal entrance song.
No, own it. Take charge of that defense.
Well, I mean the whole defense, but you know, like when a batter steps up to a plate in a major league game, each guy kind of has their own song. You know, this could be my song as I come out.
You get a sack? You need to tell those folks to have this.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what needs to happen.
That's what dude, this is so weird. You're on the wrong side.
Oh,
what are you doing over there?
Well, I came from work.
For like 15 weeks we've been doing this show. I've been on the right side. What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to look professional.
You look swell, by the way. You look swell.
Well, that's a good use of the word. Hi there. Fourth and Payne, the only pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He's Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker, largest arms on the D-line. I'm weight loss champion Chuck Carroll, and a whole heck of a lot to cover here. Boy, what a week we had. What a week we had. We made our official on-air debut at 106.7 The Fan.
We did.
Special guest RG3. And did you see all the press that interview got?
It got a little bit of press, but I'm not going to, excuse me, I'm not going to lie to you. The thing that excited me most, I got to talk to my man Goldberg.
That's right.
Tweeted to me, RT'd it. You know, he heard about it, heard that we were talking about him. And, you know, we interacted a little bit. You know, he said that he'd be willing to come on the show. I think that is pretty freaking cool.
Dude, that's huge. I mean, Robert Griffin III, then you follow that up with Goldberg.
And we do have some other big names in the bag. Just to give that a little bump right there. And they're not even all just football or wrestling. We have a major comedian who's a huge Nebraska football fan that might come on someday. I mean, we have some pretty big names out there.
Good blue-collar fella, this guy.
We really do. Get her done.
Yeah, man. So, Fourth and Payne, gosh, just before we get going, I feel the urge, seeing as though we're on an actual radio station here. Now, greetings, 106.7 The Fan. We need to put over our Twitter handles.
I don't know why I waved.
I mean, it's going to be on video, too.
All right.
So that kind of works out.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
We need to get those Twitter followers up. So do us a favor. If you're driving right now, stop. Pull over to the side of the road.
Right now,
us.
immediately.
Exactly. We'll wait for you.
It's urgent.
At Fourth and Payne, the number 4, THANDPAIN. At Fourth and Payne on Twitter. At Adam Carriker 94.
Adam Carriker 94.
And at the Chuck Carroll, CARROLL on Twitter. Do that, and matter of fact, if you follow us, and then you go to the website, fourthandpayne.com, there may, in fact, be a trivia challenge for you to take. You can win yourself some great WWE merchandise. I believe this week we're giving away a Daniel Bryan DVD.
We are. We have, I think, a DVD to give away each week for quite a few weeks coming up here. So, yeah, man, shameless plug. Give us a shout-out. Give us a follow. Tell all your friends. Tell everybody you know. Follow Fourth and Payne. Adam Carriker, the Chuck Carroll. Shameless plug.
We are humble human beings. But before we go any further, let's hit pause. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna call up your wife. I want to do that right out of the bat because we got a lot of positive feedback last week about Angie Carriker's appearance on Fourth and Payne.
Okay.
So let's check in on Peyton Manning.
Let's do that.
Peyton Pulse.
The Peyton Pulse.
You do the honors, seen as though she's your special guest.
Well, I mean, she is my lovely wife, Angie Carriker. And as you can hear, our children in the background giggling and laughing. So what is the Peyton Pulse this week?
Well, you didn't hear? Colorado had an earthquake.
Had an earthquake?
Never mind. That was just Peyton being introduced at Mile High. Sounded like an earthquake.
Oh, they're that excited about it, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty excited. So.
Well, good. Didn't you say a lot of our neighbors and our friends and people that we live next to, aren't they like posting stuff on Facebook and Twitter, pictures and all sorts of stuff like that?
That's all they're talking about. It is everywhere, and it's everywhere. What do you think of Peyton and what's going on?
Now, Angie, before we let you go, I need to ask, I mean, just as an objective observer that you are, is anybody concerned that he threw 2 interceptions in the preseason game?
No. I think they just have confidence in him when he steps back that he's going to complete the throws. And compared to what they had before, I think they're just happy and pretty reserved that he's going to make the passes when he needs to make them.
I see, Adam, where you get your hatred of Tim Tebow.
What? You're the one who's anti-Tebow.
Oh, well, you're right. I get confused.
God is going to unleash a hailstorm of locusts in your house someday.
I didn't say...
You better put the blood cross thing above your door like they did in the Old Testament.
I'm a fan of the man. I just think that he's messing up Mark Sanchez's chi. That's all I have to say about that.
Is Sanchez Chinese? What are we talking about? His chi.
Everybody's got chi. You don't need to be Chinese to have chi.
I don't have chi. I don't think I have chi.
You
Do I
have chi.
What is chi?
Machismo. Chi. You know, the
like
flow.
Cheese and
the
wine?
yin and the yang.
Cheese?
Cheese.
Stinky cheese?
Forget it. We're going to move on. Angie, thank you so much. That was Peyton Pulse. We'll have her on again next week.
All right. Thank you, sweetie.
And so from Colorado, now let's move on to Chicago. Of course, last week you guys had a big second preseason outing against the Bears. Almost came back and won that thing. Second half heroics by Kirk Cousins and company.
Yeah, man. Kirk's from around that area. I know he had a lot of people at the game. He went out and he played well. I was very impressed. Everybody that went out in that second half, we watched the film today. Our D-line played well. The secondary, the linebackers, obviously the offense put up a lot of points. We had a big return by Brandon Banks. So, everybody fought hard in that second half. Almost won that thing.
Yeah, and I would actually like to give a shout-out. I know he doesn't get mentioned a lot, but he was a friend to the show early on. Doug Worthington got his name called on TV a number of times. At least the announcers were very impressed by his performance.
Hey, we watched that film today, and, we were actually kind of giving him a hard time. Like, man, you're just in the zone out there. You're just in the zone, Doug's kind of a quiet guy. But there's one play where he's taken on the guard, and he's only got one hand, and he literally just crumples the guy like a piece of paper. You just see him just fold up, his legs buckle. Doug is a big, strong dude.
Yeah, I know he told me during the offseason that he had gone out. He got inspired. He went back up to Ohio State, I believe, in that area where he played his college ball. Really kind of fell in again with that program, got a personal trainer, worked really hard on getting everything right so he could come back here and really give himself as best of a shot as possible at making that 53, knowing just how deep that competition would be. And, boy, it sure looked like it. Against the Bears.
I was watching him this offseason. He's as strong and in shape and as quick as I've ever seen him be. And then, with that performance against the Bears, he's given himself, he's given himself a legitimate opportunity here.
Offensively.
Long pause.
Yeah. Offensively, it was kind of a tale of two halves. Boy, Alfred Morris looked good at running back right out of the chute. Busted out a 21-yard run, first play from scrimmage.
Man, he runs hard. He gets that ball, he runs, and then he gets up, and he's just like, give me that thing again. He's like a little bowling ball out there.
And
you got to respect that.
And Robert Griffin III, second preseason game. Personally, I know maybe you can't comment on this because you're a player, but I'll say this just because I'm one of those pesky, analyst, announcer, media people, the kind of people that you just can't stand.
I'm making faces at you.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm sitting right next to you. I'm not blind.
Okay.
He kind of had his welcome to the NFL moment, maybe a little bit of a dose of reality. Maybe the Bears defense a little bit more stingy than Buffalo's defense. But I still think that he kind of handled his own. He likes to scramble a lot. He backpedaled faster than most people can run forward. That kind of impressed me early on in the quarter. But beyond that, just a little bit of a struggle there. But my question to you is, as a guy that's been in the league, I think, this is season 6 for you now?
6 years.
6 years. What's it going to take for a player like that to put that game out of his mind, move forward, and progress, do what he needs to do?
Well, let me explain something real quick. This is our show. This is our show.
It is.
It's not like when I'm in front of the media and I'm trying to curtail what I say so I'm completely boring. Sorry to, deflate all those. Anybody who wants to interview, sorry to crush your hopes and dreams. I pretty much say what I want within reason on this show. So as far as our Robert goes, the way I look at him is he's obviously got a ton of talent. Everything he's coming to league with, all the accolades and all that. What I kind of foresee coming from an individual like that is a lot of wow moments. like a lot of wow, that was amazingly awesome, and a lot of wow, what was that? I mean, that's just what you're going to get out of rookies, plain and simple. He's obviously very talented, so he's going to give you the positive wow moments, and he's still learning. He's a young guy, so you're going to get the other moments too. As far as moving on to the next game, that's just part of the business. I mean, that's something he's just going to have to learn to do. That's just part of being an NFL player. You're going to have good days, bad days.
And you've been around him this week at Redskins Park. Of course, granted, today you have the game against the Indianapolis Colts. But you've been around him this week out at Redskins Park. What's his mentality been like?
I mean, pretty much the same. You know, he came in. We all watched the film, and then you could tell it was just get back to work. You know, get ready for the Colts. Each week, you take a different approach. You got a new opponent, and you can't really live in the past very long.
And let's talk about you, Big Daddy. Saw that sack that you had on, or it wasn't a sack. It
wasn't a sack. He snuck like an inch ahead of the line of scrimmage.
But I did like he tried to give you that little stiff arm.
Well, why would you do that? He's putting his throwing arm in jeopardy. Why would you do that? I mean, he's lucky I didn't accidentally fall on it and hurt it in some way, shape, or form. Protect that thing. Protect that thing because I'm coming. I'm going to do everything I legally can. I mean, legally can to drive into the ground as hard as I can, legally. What
did he say after you hit him?
He didn't say anything. I mean, he got up, went back to the huddle. Maybe I put the fear of God in him or something. I don't know. Okay. He went to his huddle. I went to mine.
He did, man. There's not really a whole heck of a lot left to talk about in that game, except for the 57-yarder that Robbie Gould hit in the closing minute. Now, granted, it's a preseason game, but Kirk Cousins had just erased a 20-point deficit by that, had given you guys a 1-point lead with less than a minute to play, 37 ticks left on the clock, and he hits a 57-yard field goal, and the Bears go on to win. Even though it's preseason, how deflating was that to the team?
I mean, to be honest with you, it was exciting to see another rookie quarterback and Kirk play so well. It was exciting to see everyone who was in the second half play so well and come all the way back. And we pretty much almost won that thing. But a guy makes a 57-yard field goal, you got to give him his due. I mean, there's nothing negative you can really say about that. You're going to make a 57-yard field goal. I congratulate you. Obviously, it's a little bit deflating. Obviously, we got to do things a little bit different this week, but that's a heck of a kick to make.
It was a heck of a kick, and Brandon Banks had himself a heck of a kick return. I know Mike Shanahan said that he was going to have to make this team as a wide receiver, man, but he is making that choice awfully difficult on the coaching staff. He is so explosive and so dangerous as a returner, as a special teams ace. You really have to think long and hard about what you're going to do with this kid.
Well, I only see bits and glimpses on the field, but he's actually looked pretty good as a receiver to me. Not like I've been watching everything he does or anything like that, but then obviously you see what he can do as a returner. And, I mean, I think he was a track guy as well. Obviously Roberts was a track guy, and I think Banks was a track guy. So he's got that track speed in him, that explosiveness.
Oh, he was mad fast at Kansas.
Kansas State.
Kansas State, mad fast. He and his sister is also just an Olympian speed kind of runner. Like, it really runs in that Banks family.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of explosiveness and speed. And if he's looking as good as I think he does at receiver, he's going to have a good shot.
A couple of receivers who may or may not have shots in the NFL. We're talking about Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco. Yes, I know that was a quick transition, but I really wanted to talk about this before we take this first segment home. Talk about guys headed in the opposite directions. You think Terrell Owens' career was over at the end of last season. Now he's the one that finds himself on a roster. He's out in Seattle. Meanwhile, Chad Johnson now, I should say, is without an NFL home following his unfortunate incident with his wife down in South Florida. What's going on with those two guys?
I mean, it's tough to say. Obviously, they're two. If you look at their body of work and their careers, they're two of the greatest receivers to ever play. Obviously, they have big, vast personalities, and they like to do things. They like to have fun. It's going to be tough for T.O. just coming back off that injury. But from what I understand, he ran, faster than he did coming out of college when he ran that 40 trying out for the Seahawks. So, I mean, that's got to show he's pretty healthy. And then Ochocinco, I guess his name is Johnson now, Chad Johnson. I can never remember. Chad Johnson, hopefully he gets another shot with the team, and I think he could still be a good player. I mean, he was so good for so long, and all of a sudden just 1 year just kind of dropped off so much. So maybe it was something in the head or something like that. But maybe if he gets another shot, he can get himself, back on a team.
Well, as I understand it, NFL teams, and perhaps rightfully so, are going to be hesitant to give anybody an opportunity, especially an aging veteran, while that whole legal situation is pending, because you just don't know how that's going to play out. You don't know what Johnson's obligations are going to be down the line.
How long do you think it'll take to play out?
Oh, geez, the court system, it could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I would think that his entire season is in jeopardy, in all honesty.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be tough. Hopefully it's quicker and sooner rather than later, and hopefully he'll get a chance to get on a team like T.O. did.
All right, man. Well, let's push pause here. Coming back on the flip side, going to be joined by a very special guest. I hope.
Mr. One-Man Gang Lorenzo Alexander.
The man who has not yet asked for directions to the Fourth and Payne studios, so we're hoping that he shows up. He just magically divines exactly where it is that we're broadcasting.
Kind of creepy if he just shows up knocking on my door,
that
man,
is kind of
because he's never been here that I know of. So.
Are you listed? Are you in the white paper?
I didn't even know I was going to live here until like a little while ago. No, I'm not listed.
That's right. Broadcasting from beautiful Rockville, Maryland. This is Fourth and Payne. He's Adam Carriker. I'm Chuck Carroll. We'll be right back.